Okay, this is May 2015, paper 1, time zone 1, question number 5 about even and odd functions. Part A. Given that f is an even function. If a function is even, that means that if you substitute a negative number into it, you get the same answer as if you substitute a positive number into it. So let's do that for f of x. Both sides will substitute x in and just have exactly what's written there, ax squared plus bx plus c. And if you substitute negative x in on the left hand side, I'm going to have a times negative x squared plus b times negative x plus c. And the savvy amongst you will have noticed that a times minus x squared is just ax squared, b times minus x is minus bx plus c equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And most of these things can be subtracted from both sides. So we've got ax squared there, subtract that, got c there, subtract that, and you're just left with minus bx equals bx. If you add bx to both sides, then you end up with 0 equals 2bx. Now x can be any number, right? X is a variable. So the only way for this to be true is if 2b equals 0, and the only way for that to be true is if b equals 0. So that's part A. Part B, now we're dealing with an odd function. So in an odd function, if you substitute a negative number in, then you get a negative answer out, or you get the opposite sign answer out. So if you put a negative number into the odd function, you get the negative or the opposite sign as if you put a positive number in, and vice versa. So let's just copy that function out. P sine x. So we've got, on the left hand side, I've got P sine negative x. I can't remember it. P sine negative x plus q times negative x plus r. That's q times negative x plus r. And on the right hand side, it's just minus all of that. P sine x plus qx plus r. Okay, for this question you need to know a property of sine, which is that sine is also odd. So I'm just going to put that in a little bubble over here. So if we have sine of minus x, it's the same as minus sine x. They're equal. Sine is an odd function. So on the left hand side of my green equation, I can write minus p sine x minus qx plus r. And by taking the negative sign through on the right hand side, I get minus p sine x minus qx minus r. Again, a lot of this will cancel. I've got minus p sine x on both sides, so I can add that on. Add minus qx to both sides. And we're left with r equals negative r. Add r to both sides, you get 2r equals 0, which means r equals 0. Okay, the last part, best part of this question, is when we have a function that is both odd and even. So we've got h of x is odd and even. That means that h of negative x is both equal to h of x because it's even, and equal to negative h of x because it's odd. Now you might be able to figure out from that alone that the answer is h is 0. But if you can't, let's just take this equation. H of x is equal to negative h of x. Add h of x to both sides. You're going to get 2h of x equals 0. Well, the only way that can happen is if h of x is 0. So there's an algebraic approach to show that the only function that is both odd and even is 0.